Welcome back to another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, where we show lineups and photographs of people we're wanted and try to get you to help us solve some crimes in our community. This week has been a pretty busy week for us. We've had some deputies down at the Gulf Coast helping out with the recovery from Hurricane Sally, and we also wanting to talk about that and how we're needing help at the Sheriff's Office, not just on the TV show, but also in our ranks. So if you've ever had an interest in being a deputy sheriff, we're hiring, and we sure would like for you to come apply, and you can do that at the Calhoun County Civil Service Office or contact us at the Sheriff's Office and we'll give you more information for that. This week we've had 8 arrests. You've never let us down. Brings our count up to 4,638 people arrested, all because somebody was willing to help us out, and we appreciate that, and we cannot do this alone. It is definitely a partnership. So stay tuned with us. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to have some deputy sheriffs here that have been down the Gulf Coast helping out with the Hurricane Sally relief, and we're going to hear from them about their experiences and what they saw and hear about our history of helping out from Katrina all the way up to Sally. So stay tuned and look at the first half of the lineup.
Behind me is a gift card station. You may have seen one at any of the chain stores here locally. You've probably shopped at one. Unfortunately, way too many people in Calhoun County shop these for the wrong reason. As you can see, there are Amazon, iTunes, eBay, and PayPal cards, and many store brand cards. These are all gift cards. Keep in mind the word gift. These cards are not for paying a bill. They're not to pay for lottery winnings, and not to pay for a family member's bond or your bond to prevent an arrest. They should not be used to pay for something that you have found for sale on a Facebook yard sale ad or something on Craigslist. The utility companies or the Social Security office will not contact you to make payment for any reason by using a gift card. If you find an item for sale, be sure you see the item in person and verify the seller is legitimate. Remember, you never really know who is behind the computer screen selling a pet or a car or even renting a house or an apartment. You don't really know who this boyfriend or girlfriend is that you met online and have been corresponding with because they are stationed in the Middle East and trying to get back home. Unfortunately, we live in a digital age now, and you just don't know who you are dealing with, be it by computer, text messages, or an actual phone call. Don't talk to strangers. This is the same warning that we strongly advise our children. Weekly, I hear from folks who have been scammed out of their hard-earned money by purchasing these cards to give the card numbers to criminals. If you have been scammed or know someone who has been scammed, the best way to get the word out and warn others is for you to tell the story. If you need more information, you can call me, Nancy Hilton, at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
Welcome back to the first half of this week's lineup. This week we've got Noah Cloud out of Lakemont, Georgia. He's wanted for a probation violation for possession of a forged instrument first. Next, Damian Wade out of Birmingham. He's wanted on failure to appear for possession with the intent to distribute, possession of marijuana second, and certain persons forbidden to possess pistol. Nikki Cheney out of Piedmont is wanted for a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. Krista Easterwood out of Anniston is wanted for a probation violation for aggravated child abuse, receiving stolen property second. Reginald Bryant from Decatur, Alabama, is wanted for burglary third on a failure to have paid. Michael Goins out of Piedmont is wanted probation violation on a burglary third. If you have any information about these cases, please give us a call at the Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600.
Welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Hopefully you saw somebody on the lineup that you know where they're at, and you can call us and we can take them off the streets and make our community a little bit safer, and we definitely appreciate you watching. This week we're here with Deputy Travis Thornton and Josh Calderon. who both are deputies with the Sheriff's Office. And we're going to talk a little bit about what they do for a living and also their efforts that they did down in South Alabama to help with the recovery of Hurricane Sally. So Travis, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working at the Sheriff's Office?
I've been with the department 3 years. I started out in the jail and worked my way up to deputy. Currently I'm assigned to the SRO division, so I'm at Alexandria Elementary, Middle, and High School. So hi to all my kids. Hopefully, you know, I've got a long career here and look forward to what's to come.
Absolutely. Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I started in 2011 working corrections in the jail. Moved off to a deputy and eventually ended up in investigations, and been there since then.
Well, you know, in 1996, January the 21st actually, of 1996, I started working in the jail and worked in the jail for 2 years. And so, you know, I try to tell people all the time that, you know, working in the jail, a lot of people say, I don't want to work in the jail, but it's a great place to start. It teaches you how to deal with people, and from there you can go from a corrections officer to a sheriff. I've living proof of that. But so, at your school, what made you decide you wanted to be an SRO?
Well, the day-to-day operations of patrol was a little monotonous at times, and I worked some overtime details in the school, and getting to be with the kids and everything was a different change of pace and something that I thought I could do and get me some experience in different places in the sheriff's office.
So since you have Alexandria, there's no Wade kids that's been in trouble since you've been there?
No, there won't be.
There's good. That's good. So, Josh, investigations, a little bit of what some of the ranges of investigations from the smallest to the biggest of things that you do as an investigator.
Yeah, so I'm assigned to district, I also work narcotics, and I mean, we investigate anything from a misdemeanor theft all the way to a homicide. We do a lot of narcotics investigations, trafficking cases, assaults, robberies. I mean, we do it all, and it's a lot of fun, you know. I also have the opportunity to help a lot of people, and that's really why I'm doing this.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, at the Sheriff's Office, that's kind of our motto is to have a servant's heart and help people. So with the hurricane recovery relief, back in 2005, the first hurricane that I went on was Katrina. So we were actually in New Orleans, and we were down there for about 7 days. And Sally wasn't Katrina, thank goodness, but still, each and every hurricane has its different characteristics. And one thing that's common is people lose property. I don't think anybody lost their life in Sally, which is a blessing in amongst itself. But still, when you need help, it's always good to have it. And so back in 2011, when we had tornadoes here, I also worked that, and I saw people come from all over the state to come help us for a couple of months in Calhoun County when we had that damage and loss of life. So we've kind of always tried to make it a priority to go help others when in need. So 6 of y'all went down. What day did y'all go?
Wednesday night.
Last Wednesday night, 6 of y'all went down to South Alabama, and y'all came back yesterday. We have 3 more that went down yesterday, and some dispatchers that are going today. You know, and that's all well and good, and we like helping people, but one thing people don't realize here is that y'all are valuable resources, and with that, there's only so many of you. So we're going to help people, and people here that didn't go are still doing their part by working overtime and extra shifts in trying to make sure that happens. And, you know, I'm really blessed to work with some good people like both of you that are willing to go serve, because we didn't make you go. You volunteered to go. So with that, we really appreciate your service, and if everybody stays tuned, we'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of the lineup, and they'll talk about what they saw in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach with the damage to Hurricane Sally.
Welcome back to the second half of this week's lineup. We had Terrell Lawyer Jr. out of East Aboga. He's wanted on a failure to appear for possession of marijuana second. Christopher Crawford out of Gulf Shores. He's wanted for probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. Corey Fuller from Rainbow City, wanted on probation violation for possession of marijuana first. Jacob Jackson out of Oxford is wanted on a probation violation for possession of forged instrument second. and theft of property, 3rd. Kimon McGrath is wanted on a probation violation for distribution of a controlled substance. David Coffey out of Weaver is wanted for a probation revocation for theft of property, 3rd. And Robin Fortenberry out of Rainbow City is wanted on an NWNI or a bad check. Once again, if you have any information about any of these cases, please give us a call at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600.
Welcome back to the second half of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Hopefully in the lineup there was somebody there that you recognized. You give us a call and we'll haul them to jail. Y'all have never let us down, had 8 arrests this week, and we truly appreciate the help. And we're back to the second section of Calhoun County's Most Wanted to talk about Hurricane Sally. So 2 years ago when Hurricane Michael hit, we got a call kind of the same way that we need help. So myself and some other people went down, and we were in east on the panhandle of Florida. We were east of Panama City, and I have a picture somewhere on my phone where I was looking at the hurricane eye as it come through, and the little blue dot was right here, and the hurricane eye was about 15 miles west of where we were at. So I've actually was there, went through Hurricane Michael, and saw what it was like, and saw the damage and the wind. So it was definitely interesting. Not something that I would recommend, but that's just the way that it happened. So people think of the rescue efforts, they think, well, you're going down afterwards. But actually, Hurricane Sally hit Wednesday morning, and y'all left to head down there at what time?
We ended up leaving the sheriff's office about 10 o'clock.
In the morning or at night?
At night.
At night.
So we drove through the night and arrived down there. We're at the Centennial Bank at Gulf Shores, right close to Lulu's, if anybody knows where Lulu's is. When we arrived, there was a patrolman from another county or city that had come down to already assist in that evening, watching the bank, making sure nobody was looting it or anything. And we arrived, and we're lucky enough to have the sheriff's office camper with us. So we get it set up and a few hours of sleep and get ready to watch the bank. But behind us there was a apartment building, and the apartment building, of course, nobody in our area had power or anything. They were blocked in. There was a tree that had fallen over their driveway, and they had no power, no way to leave or anything. So they were stuck inside. And that next day we had some people come over and to see if they could. They were trying to walk to one of the grocery stores and get some supplies for them and some of the older people that lived in that apartment building. And we were able to help them get some supplies that they needed to help all of the people that were there. And they even helped us and encouraged us. They had, without power, didn't want all of their meats and things like that to go bad. So they had a big grill out with all of the tenants and everybody, and they brought us a good plate. And
That's
so
called
we ate
community
good one
relations.
day.
Yeah. That's good community relations to have right there. If somebody wants you to eat, you can tell by looking at me, I'll show up. So, so when you say y'all went down there, you two were on the show, but there was actually 6 of you. Right. And so y'all took the sheriff's office camper down. Tell me a little bit about the sleeping arrangements. I'm kind of curious of how all 6 of you slept in the camper.
So I didn't have the luxury of sleeping in the camper. I was actually assigned to a different location in Orange Beach, and I got to sleep in my backseat of my patrol car. But just
how many days did you do that?
3 nights.
So you basically lived out of the patrol car for 3 days.
Correct. And had a couple MREs the first night because everything was closed, no power, and trying to find gas was actually a little bit difficult. The first night I had to drive an hour away just to get gas and then come back. But as it progressed, and it was a lot easier. People started coming out, like Deputy Thornton was saying. People would come out and cook their meats so that it wouldn't go bad, and they would actually provide us with food. So we had the opportunity to provide security, back up the local police during traffic stops, and patrolling the local businesses, make sure that people were not looting.
And I've saw there was, as far as I know, 0 reports of any type of criminal activity like that going on. I'm sure there might have been a little bit, but it wasn't widespread as you saw at other storms in years past, but in Alabama we tend to have good folks, and then we don't have those kind of problems, it seems.
Yeah. So something else too that I witnessed, sitting there in the bank, saw a big explosion across the street, and one of the transformers actually exploded, and the power lines just hit the ground. And then I heard later that there was about 5 boats that caught on fire, but I got the opportunity to help with that and just go out there and tell the locals, hey, it's a power line, I don't want anyone getting hurt. But just seeing how people just come together in such a time of need is just something amazing to witness. People being there for each other, helping each other, it's just something phenomenal.
Well, you know, in the day's world, we see a lot of media where it seems like in America that we don't do that anymore, but when it's actually happening, we do. We still love each other, and we still come together, and we still help each other. You know, Deputy Thornton here is a little younger, but you know, when 9/11 happened, that was one of the things that I remember most after the attacks on America that day, was how our country came together, and the cohesiveness and the unity, and man, that's just a great feeling when you see that. And in hurricanes, in times of trouble, you see that again. I actually had some trees fall at my house back in April and take out several of my cars, and the people that come to help me, you know, it's just a great feeling when that happens, and I know the community down there really appreciated y'all doing that. You know, citizens think, you know, it's easy to think, well, deputies or law enforcement are down there helping, but hearing the stories about how you were sleeping in the back of your car, and that's a big, you know, that's when I say it's a big sacrifice. You didn't have to go. You
Correct.
volunteered, right?
Yes, sir.
So the people that went, they weren't forced to go. I didn't tell them they had to go. They decided they'd go do that, endure that hardship, and do that. So, Deputy Thornton, what was your sleeping arrangements?
Well, I was lucky enough to have the camper.
It seems like you were one of the younger guys on the crew. I'm just curious of how that worked out, where you got that versus.
It looked out where I was with the oldest guy with the crew. So we had that.
You had a good partner.
Had a good partner, yes. Yes, good partner. Had, you know, all the amenities. Luckily, we had water from the bank that we were able to hook up to the camper, and we had a generator we took with us, so we had air in the camper and a microwave if we wanted to warm up some food or anything like that. So.
Sure. Well, any stories about you see anything that you saw that struck you that power out or explosion? Explosion's kind of hard to beat, so.
Yeah, not an explosion. Nothing that interesting.
Well, we appreciate what y'all have done and the service that y'all gave, and hopefully people will watch this show and see what you do and understand that in law enforcement, we're here to help people.
Yes.
And maybe helping someone, hearing this stories here of helping will inspire someone to help somebody else, because it's never too late to be kind. It's never too late to do something nice for somebody else, because serving others is actually very rewarding, and it's very contagious, and it's something we should all try to do. So thank you for staying here. We got the crime section coming up where you can help us solve some crimes that's needing help on, and just stay tuned and let us know.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go over some property crimes that you can help us solve. Between September the 8th and September the 17th of 2020, an unknown person stole items from a home located on Windcrest Farm Road. Those items included an Auburn watch, a fossil watch, and a wedding band with an engagement ring set. Some revisited crimes between August the 23rd and August the 26th of 2020. A blue and green swirl kayak and a blue and white kayak, along with 25 pounds of gunpowder. It's kind of an odd combination, and a box of primer for bullets and 2 fishing rod and reels were stolen from a storage building on Highway 431 in Ohatchee. Between July the 11th and July the 25th of 2020, an unknown person broke into a storage unit located on Highway 144 in Alexandria. This person cut the lock from the unit and stole the lock, a tent, a folding chair, a grill, and 2 coolers, and a new lock was placed back on the door by the suspect. Once again, if you have any information about any of these cases, please give us a call at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
All right, our crazy criminal this week is a pretty good one. So in Richland, Washington, they have a TV show kind of like this, their Most Wanted program. And in that, they featured a person kind of like we do. This is Anthony Akers. And so they feature him on their Most Wanted, and he starts communicating with them on their Facebook page, saying he's going to turn himself in. And after several missed appointments of turning himself in, he writes them a letter. It says, "Dear RPD, it's not you, it's me. I obviously have commitment issues. I apologize for standing you up, but let me make it up to you. I'll be there no later than lunchtime tomorrow. I know you have no reason to believe me after what I did to you, but I promise that if I don't make it on my own by lunchtime tomorrow, I will call for a ride for you to assist me with my commitment issues. Thank you in advance for your response. If you are patiently giving me another chance with us, I know I don't deserve it, but P.S., you're beautiful." So we haven't gotten any letters like that, but I'm not discouraging them. If anybody out there thinks we're beautiful or needs a ride or help with their commitment issues, call us. We'll come get you.